As the sun rises on the third week of lockdown in the bush capital, it looks like a beautiful morning. But for parents, the new day brings dread.
We are running out of ideas. Like, honestly, I have exhausted Google. You want to take a break?
Aisha and Syed Fatima are worried about their 15-month-old Alina, who's no longer at daycare.
At this age, children they're like sponges. They learn so quickly. So even like missing out on a couple of months of that essential learning, I'm afraid would definitely have negative effects on her.
Perhaps even more concerning is Alina's change in behaviour.
She's becoming very clingy, and she wants either her father or me with her all the time. Whereas before she would go to daycare, come back and play independently.
Okay, let him try.
They're not alone. Parents across Australia are worried. Experts say they're right to be.
There's lots of things that parents can do, which includes the things that we talked about, which was keeping up the conversation, normalising it, highlighting the positives. Wow, imagine you'll be able to tell your children and your grandchildren about how you lived through the pandemic.
The problem is empty schoolyards in much of the country means some kids need help now, and treatment is hard to find.
If the kids are really withdrawing, really not talking, really crying a lot and really verbalising a high level of anxiety, then it's probably a good idea to try and seek some help.
Record numbers are seeking help. Figures from the Kids Helpline show that calls and web contacts are up by 1/3 compared to pre-pandemic levels. In New South Wales, they got more than 3,000 calls a week last month, while in Victoria, the proportion of children reaching out is up by nearly half.
I'm thinking that what we really need is what you might call a COVID recovery plan for children.
Children's Commissioner Anne Hollands fears the smallest voices are being drowned out.
I think we need a national COVID recovery plan for children that goes across portfolios and jurisdictions, that looks at all the areas of a child's life and the needs of the families who are raising them.
Federal Education Minister Alan Tudge shares the concerns.
I would get calls into my office every day from parents who are struggling themselves or who have kids who are absolutely struggling, who are either completely disengaged from their learning, or, as one woman told me this morning, that her 9-year-old has become suicidal.
He says the target of opening up after vaccinations reach 70% should apply to all age groups, and is putting the onus on states to commit to reopening schools, as New South Wales has done.
I think it provides some real hope and certainty for kids and for parents. And I would like to see Victoria do a similar plan to provide that confidence, that hope, that certainty.
That's not a strategy that I will pursue. They are not choices that I will make. They're not real options, in fact. They're not real options at all.
For the more than 5 million people locked down here in Greater Sydney for 10 weeks, schools reopening at the end of October still seems a long way off.
A wagon.
It's a wagon.
Both of them ask every day, when can we go back?
What are you drawing in? Cross sign.
Lorelei Bassman-Ramey is pregnant with her 4th child. Her 3 sons, Elijah, aged 2, Ethan, who's 4, and 5-year-old Enrique are learning remotely at home. They're all worried and anxious about what they're missing.
The eldest and the middle one, they were sleeping through the night beautifully. For the past probably 3 weeks, they've been waking up.
And Benjamin as well? Yeah, okay.
The effect on Lorelei's 3 kids has been different and unexpected, mirroring the experience of many parents. Elijah was a baby during last year's lockdown and won't travel in a car.
He was screaming and yelling and we couldn't drive anywhere. It's all these things that we take for granted, the simple things, the everyday life.
Dr. Natasha Ziebel's research shows it'll take quite a while to understand all the impacts of missed schooling.
Our research showed that in terms of educational decline, teachers weren't as concerned as some other aspects of student learning and development. One of their key concerns was emotional wellbeing.
As Delta cases continue to climb, the push will be on to ensure the littlest don't pay the highest price.
Listen to Daddy.
You ready?
No.
During lockdown, children and their needs are pretty much invisible.
The first thing that's going to be needed is getting them back to school. That is the number one, number two and number three thing we need to do.
Go, go, go.
It's really a struggle for the whole nation, what we're going through, and especially for kids.
Hi, I'm Lee Sales. Thanks for watching this story. If you'd like to watch more of 7:30's stories, they are on the left of your screen. And tap on the button below to subscribe and get the latest from ABC News.